Good morning. We're going to take a look now at rational exponents and radical functions. Let's see if we can get this to work. Okay, the big ideas of the chapter is to use rational exponents. Now remember what rational numbers are. Rational numbers are numbers that can be used, can be written as fractions. So we're looking at using fractional exponents. Okay, we're going to perform function operations, find the inverse functions, and we're going to graph radical functions, of course, and solve. I love to solve equations. It's something I can do when I'm done. I have an answer. I can go check it. So I'd love to solve equations. All right, first one. We're going to evaluate nth roots and get started on those rational exponents, fractional exponents. Okay, vocab, the nth root. The nth root of a number is if b to the n equals a, then b is an nth. I think it's a is an nth root of b. No, b is an nth root of a. That's right. Okay, the nth root of a is written with an index. That index tells you how many factors alike you're looking for. For example, the cube root of 8. Well, 8 can be written as a product of 2 times 2 times 2, or 2 cubed. So the cube root of 8 is 2. We're looking for 3 of a kind. Okay. The radical is the square root symbol, but the index doesn't have to be 2 all the time. On square roots, we do not put the 2 in. It is understood. It's the most common. But any other index we do have to write. Okay. So if we're going to write these as a power of the base, the cube root of 125 would simply be 125 to the 1/3. The root index goes in the denominator. So my next example, the 4th root of 81 would be written as 81 to the 1/4. Now, when we want to evaluate these, 125 is 5 times 25, which is 5 times 5. Since it's cube root, we want 3 of a kind, so this will simply equal 5. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. Okay, the 4th root of 81. Well, 81 is 9 times 9, and each 9 gives us 2 3s as factors. So with the 4th root, we want 4 of a kind. So this will evaluate to simply the number 3. And I think now we have answered the why. Okay, some things that we should talk about. N is some integer. You're going to work with integer indexes. We are not going to have the 1.5 root of 16, say. Okay, it's going to be an integer in your index. And A is some real number. Okay, so if N is an even integer, realize there's no real roots of negatives. Okay, there's one real root of 0, it's 0. And if it's positive, A is positive, you're taking the nth root of some positive number, the square root, the 4th root, it's going to have 2, the positive and the negative. Okay? For odd indexes, 3, 5, 7, we'll mostly do square roots and cube roots, but we have to look at the others. But negatives have a root just like 0 does, just like positive does. Okay, so the cube root of, say, 27 is 3. The cube root of negative 27 is negative 3. And that's what that's showing you. But on this one, if we try to take the square root of negative 16, we learned earlier in this chapter that would give you 4i. It's not real, it's imaginary. So we're going to find the indicated nth root. So in other words, we want the fourth root of 625. Okay, so again, we're going to break down. 5 goes into it 125 times. And we just did that. That was 5 times 25, which is 5 times 5. So we've got 4 5s. This is going to equal 5. I guess it should go here. Okay. The cube root of negative 216. Well, first of all, I know it's going to be negative. So I'm going to write down 216. Well, that's 2 times 108, which is 2 times 54, which is 6 times 9. Well, 6 is 2 times 3, 9 is 3 times 3. So I got 3 3s, I got 3 2s. So this will be negative 2 times 3, in other words, negative 6. And we got there. So I'm looking for groups of whatever the index is. So when the index is 3, I'm looking for 3 of a kind. If the index is 4, I'm looking for 4 of a kind. Okay, rational exponents is what we're using. Please realize that you can split the denominator and the numerator apart as long as you put 1 over your denominator. Because remember the power rule, when you raise powers to powers, you multiply exponents. So 1 over n times m, you'd put the m over 1 and get m over n. So these are definitely equivalent. Well, then once you have it split, you could say, well, I want the nth root of a, and then I'll raise it to the n. And be careful, if it's a negative exponent, negative just does the reciprocal, and everything else is the same. Okay, so you could do all of those steps, just say, oh, it's negative, so it's going to be 1 over, and go from there. If it's negative in the denominator, remember it goes back to the numerator. Okay, so when they evaluate without a calculator, these should come out nice. So this is simply saying, what's the cube root of 8? And then I'm going to raise that to the 4th. Okay, so when we break 8 down, and some of you are very handy at this already, that's going to be 2, so this will be 2 to the 4th. That'll be 16. Okay, so 81 to the negative 3/4, that's going to be 1 over because it's negative. So when we do the 4th root of 81, and then we'll cube it, we just did this a little bit ago too. We got 3s. Okay, so this would be 3 cubed, and that gives us 27. So the 81 to the negative 3/4 is going to be 1 over 27. Okay, this is, again, is going to be 1 over because we have that negative exponent. So we need to cube root, I did that too soon, cube root 64 and then square that. Okay, so 64 is 2 times 32, which is 2 times 16. That's 4 times 4. Each of those give us 2 2s. So we've got a triple of 2s and a triple of 2s. So this is 2 times 2, that is squared. 4 squared, that's 16. So we end up with 1 over 16. So there's some examples of how we will evaluate. FYI, some people like to make themselves a chart. And they'll do this. And they might even do n to the 4th. So 1, of course, is easy. But if my number is 2, 2 squared, 2 cubed, 2 to the 4th will go in the next column. Then 3 squared is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. And they will make themselves a table. Okay, I think that's 256, but I might be wrong, so you might want to check up on that. 5 is easier for me to remember. And this would be 625. But just making a little table so they know what to expect. 7 is kind of nice. This 343 is pretty easy. So if you make yourself a little table, that's up to you. You can use it. Okay, now this part you're going to be using a calculator. So this one would be trying to find the cube root of 9. If you put it on your calculator, you can do 9 raised to the 1/3. Okay, don't put 0.3. Use the 1/3. Okay, this one, I hope you already realize it's going to be 1 over. Okay, so to me, I'm saying I don't need a calculator on this one. This is the square root of 25 and then cube it. So I got 1 over 125, but as a decimal, it'll come out different. Okay, same thing with this, 10 raised to the parentheses -3/4. If you're not sure if it's working out the way it should, come ask me. I will make sure that you understand how to use your calculator. Okay. When you solve these equations, you have to undo in the correct order of operations. So in this case, we have to undo the multiplication because multiplication is done after the power. So x cubed will equal, what is that, 64? And we just did the cube root of 64 a little bit ago. That turned out to be 4. Okay. Here we have to take the 5th root of 100 first. And it's even, so you don't, or excuse me, it's odd, so you do not have to. Wow, I should redo that, but I'm not going to. Odd exponents, you do not get plus or minus. Evens, you would. And then you would add 8 to that. Oh, sorry, there I put the plus or minus, but it's not plus or minus, it's just plus. Because 100 is plus. Whatever the 5th root of 100 is. Pretty small. Okay, so here's what I said. If the exponent is even, be sure to include the plus or minus. Both of these happen to be odd, so I did not have to include plus or minus. Okay. And our last page here. The surface area of a sphere is found using the formula 4 pi r squared. An exercise ball is made up of 7,900 square centimeters approximately of material. What's the approximate diameter of the ball? So I'm going to set 4 pi r squared equal to the surface area that we are given. How am I going to solve this for the radius so that I can get the diameter? Okay. I need to divide both sides by 4 pi. Okay. When I divided, I got approximately 628.7. And when I square rooted this, it came to approximately, so because pi is irrational, 25.07. So I'm going to approximate, because it said approximate, my radius to be about 25 centimeters. My diameter, what they asked for, is about 50 centimeters, which is probably too big. Well, it's an exercise ball, not a soccer ball, so it's probably fine. All right, so take a look at this. Make sure you understand the denominator is your index. Numerator is what you raise your little number to power to. Review some of those rules for exponents. Negatives, put it in the denominator. Practice some with your calculator. And that's your first lesson.